Hi, friends. Welcome to the next episode of the Get Healthy Makeover series. I'm Linda Curry. Today, we're going to establish some habits around exercise. So, you may already have an established exercise routine that's working for you. We don't need to change that, but you might find some ideas in this episode with maybe adding more fun to your activities. So these things can last well into the following decades as you grow older but feeling youthful. Okay, here we go. So think about what activities you love or have loved in the past, maybe even as a child. There are possibilities of bringing some of these back into your life, like kickball or croquet or something you've loved in the past. Maybe you haven't picked up a tennis racket in 20 years. Maybe that would be a fun activity to get back into. Also, I'd like you to think about what you want to be doing activity-wise when you're 80 years old. I have a very wise former friend. He has since passed, but he lived to the ripe old age of 117. And he had this saying that if you want to be walking 2 miles when you're 80, you better be doing it now. So make sure that you are doing things today that you hope to be doing in the future, because we need to keep our body resilient and flexible and strong to move forward with resilience as we age. So in your journal or notebook, you're going to journal about what activities you just love doing and what you hope to be doing as you get older. One thing you might also consider is in Ayurvedic medicine that I brought up a few times in this series, you have a certain body type according to Ayurvedic medicine. And there's a fun quiz that you can take at whatsyourdosha.com. And it'll tell you what your body type is. And then it will give you results as to what type of exercise is best for your body type, what types of food are best, etc. When I did this many years ago, I realized that my dosha, as they call it, was called pitta, which is basically a fire element. And at the time, I was doing Bikram yoga, which is heat yoga. It's a really great exercise and you sweat out a lot of toxins. I highly recommend it. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right type of exercise for my type, which was pitta, because when you add heat onto something that's already a fire element, you get way out of balance on the heat side. So things for my dosha would be like swimming or doing yoga that's not heat yoga, some less strenuous activities. And I have found that I rarely get colds anymore. Sometimes the heat yoga would really put me over the edge and I would constantly be fighting a cold. So I really do listen to the Ayurvedic medicine principles as I find them very helpful. So you're going to set some exercise and movement goals. So think about and write down what you want to incorporate. You want to incorporate some fun activities, some weight training perhaps. Maybe you want to establish an hourly routine where you get up from your desk and you walk around or get outside doing something with activity. Maybe you just stand up and do some squats right at your desk. Maybe you're listening to a webinar and it's possible to do this while that's going on. There's a lot of different options for your particular goals. So I want you to personalize this for you based on your goals and based on your lifestyle. And then what do you need for accountability? Perhaps you need a workout partner, or maybe it's as simple as finding an accountability partner and you text each other when you've completed your exercise goal for the day. You would be amazed at how effective it can be when you're checking in with someone on your goal. And people will volunteer to be this accountability partner for you because they also need that partner. Maybe for you, you need to purchase a gym or a yoga package When you're paying for something, you're more likely to actually do it. Maybe for you, you need an exercise app. And these apps on your phone can actually alert you that, hey, you haven't done your exercise for the day. Very helpful. So think about accountability as you jot down your goals in your notebook. Now, I want to talk a little bit about making habits stick. So, exercise is a great example with creating habits. So, you've probably heard that it takes 22 days for a habit, for a new change to become a habit. So, what I'd like to do, especially with an exercise goal, is to create a very small, achievable goal that you can definitely get done every single day. Even if you're feeling tired, you can do this minimum goal that you set up. So, as an example, if you just set 5 minutes of exercise a day and maybe you establish a time frame, this is after lunch, before dinner, that you establish 5 minutes a day. Now, keep in mind, it's going to be more than 5 minutes if you're feeling good, because all you need is that 5 minutes to get your energy levels up and you'll feel motivated. Sometimes it's just a simple act of putting on your running shoes. Um, that is the hardest part of this whole process. So if you create a goal of 5 minutes every single day, you can choose on the days you don't feel well, hey, I can handle 5 minutes, and maybe it's just light stretching. Maybe it's just lying in savasana, which is a yoga pose called the dead man's pose. You just lie there and focus on your breath for 5 minutes. You can do that, right? Everybody can. And we can afford 5 minutes a day. The reason why we want to put something in that spot, even when you're not feeling well, even when you're not feeling like exercising, we want to create the habit. We want to establish it with that 22 days plus or minus of doing something in that space. So that is one of my tricks to making a habit stick. There's also a method called habit stacking. I can't remember who coined that term, but it basically says this. You already have habits in place, like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast. So habit stacking would be, I exercise before breakfast. So breakfast always happens, and well, generally, right? Pick something that happens every single day and put this new habit right in front of it. And then you know that you can't eat breakfast until you get your exercise goal done. Does that make sense? Okay. So making healthy habits stick. Now for your exercise goal, I want you to pick the when are you going to do it, the what type of exercise, and have some options. And where are you going to do this exercise? Is it in your living room? Is it outside? Is it at the park? Is it in the gym? And then you're going to stick with it. You can tweak things as you go if something's not working, but until this becomes embedded into your day, you want to kind of stick with the when, what, and where. And then again, establish the time frame. Is it 5 minutes? Is it 7 minutes? You know it will be longer than that if you're feeling well, and that's great. And on those days you're not feeling well, then you're giving yourself a break, but still establishing that habit. When? Maybe it's 9 a.m. and you have a condition that you do this before breakfast. The what? Maybe it's you have options of yoga, doing a YouTube yoga series, or taking a walk, or doing some weights and cardio. And then where? Is it in your living room or is it outdoors? So this is how to create an exercise goal and to create the habit that is going to last long term. And of course, we're going to be flexible and we can tweak things as we go. Okay, so for this week, I want you to establish what is it you love to do in the past. Maybe something that's going to be enjoyable long term, like golf or tennis or pickleball or something else. Something you can do with friends so you're getting exercise and socializing. Do you need an accountability partner? A lot of us do. It's just nice to have one. And then create the what, when, and where and stick to it until this becomes a habit. Can you take a day off? Sure, but try to take at least the 5 minutes to just sit and breathe and let that count as your movement for the day. And don't forget, sometimes when we're cleaning the house or we're cleaning out the garage or we're doing gardening work, that counts as movement. It counts as exercise. So be easy on yourself and be aware that you may already be getting a lot of movement in your life that you're not giving yourself credit for. And with that, I will say grab your notebook and start jotting down these things, find an accountability partner, and try to make it fun. I hope I'll see you back here next week for another episode of the Get Healthy Makeover series. Take care.